Senator Elizabeth Warren has hit back after being attacked by former CEO Howard Schultz. Now, Schultz, of course, went after her plan to raise taxes on wealthy Americans. He called it, quote, ridiculous, and said that all she was looking for is a good headline. In fact, quote, she knows for a fact that it's never going to get passed. Now, look, is he right about that? Does this bill have a chance? No. No, he's right about that. Not because it's radical or unpopular. No, polls show that there is a strong desire among both Republicans and Democrats and independents for taxing rich people and using that money to invest in infrastructure, healthcare, and education, right? So that would be popular. No, it doesn't have a chance because rich people control Congress. Rich people are in Congress, and it would be their wealth that would be taxed. Congress is a millionaires club, especially in the Senate, where it takes at least $2 to $3 million to run. So all of these millionaires that are writing the laws and passing the laws are like, I'm not going to pass something that raises my taxes. Oh, don't touch my money. Right? Now, on that, of course, Warren responded to Schultz. She said, quote, what's ridiculous is billionaires who think they can buy the presidency to keep the system rigged for themselves while opportunity slips away for everyone else. The top 0.1% who'd pay my ultra-millionaire tax own about the same wealth as 90% of America. It's time for change. It is time for change, and I absolutely love that. Out of all the proposals, by the way, that Howard Schultz went after, Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, etc., right? The wealth tax is the one that actually scares them the most. Because Howard Schultz is worth about $3 billion. And this guy, a lot of these billionaires, unfortunately, are like the dragon from The Hobbit, Smaug. Don't you dare touch my gold. I'm going to come after you. So, look, I actually love how this is turning out, this entire primary, and we've barely even started. Here you have establishment figures like Kamala Harris, right, now doing full-throated endorsements of Medicare for all. Not only that, but you have people like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders that are scaring the crap out of Wall Street because if one of those guys gets into office, they might actually regulate the banks and these institutions and actually enact taxes on the rich. And then you have this guy, Schultz, a former Democrat, running as a spoiler. What happened? He's not even a Democrat, guys. And I love this tweet from Matthew Iglesias, right? He tweeted out, the goal here for Schultz is something like a billionaire's veto on elections, where if Democrats dare challenge the plutocracy too fundamentally, they'll be blocked by a self-funded spoiler. I think that is incredibly accurate. And then Nate Silver, of course, chimed in. Nate Silver from 538. He says, going to be ironic when Schultz is responsible for electing Bernie Sanders, because well-off mocha-drinking suburbanites who would otherwise vote their class interest are able to vote for Schultz instead of Donald Trump. Oh, that's good. I love that. They're like actually getting some self-awareness here. Because, look, realize that the people who Clinton was going after, those same, mocha-drinking suburbanites, and hey, I love a good mocha, right? But I'm not a suburbanite. I am not well off. These people, even though they didn't like Donald Trump's racism, they still voted for Donald Trump. They did not vote for Hillary Clinton. People who were well off voted for the Republican because they will be even more well off because they get tax cuts. So now they're saying, well, they might not vote for Donald Trump. They might vote for this non-racist independent. I don't know if that's true, but I still love how he brought that up. But he later clarified in another tweet. He said, I'm saying a voter who thinks Bernie is a bridge too far in economics, but that Trump is a little racist is probably more likely than not to vote for Trump, especially if they're personally well off and the economy is good. So Schultz could drain their votes and help Bernie. Oh, if that's what happens, that'd be wonderful. Oh, that'd be great. I mean, again, the guy is running on eliminating debt and cutting entitlements. That's not something I think a lot of Democrats would vote for. Though I do think a lot of Republicans might be like, instead of the idiocy that is Trump and the constant scandal and the ridiculous wall that we know is not going to happen, but we could elect Howard Schultz, or at least vote for Howard Schultz, and get some sort of actual fiscal, in their words, sanity back. Now, I think that, of course, focusing too much on the deficit and talking about cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, that's crazy talk, right? And we should be focused on actually getting Medicare for all, which would be cheaper, and a Green New Deal, which would create tens of millions of jobs. That's actually a more sane position. But again, Republicans, right? But I also think that there are some members of the establishment who are never Bernie people. And I think that's actually a really, really small amount of people might actually go for that protest vote with Howard Schultz. So I think he'll likely siphon some people that are disgusted with Trump and, of course, center-right establishment Democrats, because he basically has right-wing economic positions that are incredibly comfortable for the establishment. Nonetheless, Schultz has gotten a ton of criticism from, of course, Democrats, even establishment Democrats at this point, and everybody else. So he's not been doing very well with his announcement. So this is all this is happening all while Democrats are actually being pulled to the left on economic policy back to where most of the country is. So that's great. As far as Schultz is concerned, obviously this guy is likely not going to win, but we'll see how much damage, and we'll see how these never Bernie people happen to react to it if Bernie Sanders becomes the nominee. It should be fun to watch. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.